In modern time of the 21st century, are the Hollywood elite actors and actresses channeling spirits to enhance their performance? What is spirit channeling? Spirit channeling is nothing more than modern day term for mediumship. Channeling is spirit possession. There is two basic forms of channeling. There are intentional channeling and spontaneous channeling. Intentional channeling is when a person actively seeks to be possessed by spirits. In such cases, the spirits usually wait for the individual's permission to enter the body. Spontaneous channeling is the spirit that takes control when they please, and the channeler is at the mercy of the spirits. Channeling is defined by the Bible as nothing more than demon possession and the use of consulting familiar spirits or demonic spirits. However, some of the Hollywood A-list actors and actresses are being aided by demons in many of their theatrical performances. These actors are channeling these spirits to act and fall under the form of intentional channeling, and they are lying demonic spirits that are using these actors and actresses as a host to lead people away from Jesus Christ and to eternal damnation, and also the antichrist morals they promote in the films they do. In this expose, we will examine how these actors and actresses are utilizing channeling to promote the kingdom of darkness and how they will outright say that they're being possessed by spirits to enhance their performance.
Oh, another one of those like really serious moments, Malcolm X.
Oh,
Because he was, he had a huge influence on you too.
yes.
So how...
Junior high school, we had to read the autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley for English class. And that book changed everything for me. At this time again, I know I want to be a filmmaker. I didn't know that one day I would make that film.
Right.
But that film just had a profound effect on me. The performance by Denzel, that's one of the greatest performances ever. Let me tell you this story. All the speeches in the film were Malcolm's actual speeches. We did the research. So we're doing this one speech. I have my script in front of me. I'm looking at Denzel, I'm also looking at the monitor. He's killing it. So as I'm reading the script along with Denzel, and I see that, well, the speech is over. I'm gonna call cut. But he keeps going. And he kept going for another 5 minutes till finally the film ran out of the magazine. And the stuff that he said was better than Malcolm's words. So I finally called cut. I go, Denzel, I said, Denzel, that was great. But where did that come from? I mean, you went on 5 minutes after what was scripted. He said, Spike, I don't know. So that's the type of, he was bringing it. Now,
Do you have, did that moment go in?
it was in the movie. But here's the thing about people don't understand. Denzel works. A year before we started to shoot, he told his agent, I'm not working anymore. He prepared a year for that role. What'd he do? I'm playing a Muslim. Okay, I can't eat pork anymore. I'm playing a Muslim. I can't drink. I have to learn how to speak Arabic. I have to learn how to read the Quran. He became a student of Malcolm. It's more than just the impersonation. It's more than just us dyeing his hair red or putting on the glasses or the voice. Because all that shit is superficial. Denzel knew he had to be in a space spiritually where Malcolm come in his vessel. So that's why he was able to do that 5-minute thing after the scripted pages ended. That was Malcolm and him. Malcolm came into his soul right there. I said Denzel. He could not remember what he said. Gotta put the work in.
That's right.
Developed an acting discipline that you've referred to as nouveau shamanic. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What are the core principles?
I've been told that all actors really hail from the early medicine men and the shamans in the villages pre-Christianity, where they would put on masks and act out, and really they were probably pretty crazy, but they would go in and find answers to questions. Today you're called psychotic if you do that, but it's all semantics. So what I would do is I'd put on Afro-Caribbean paint, like a white and black paint, and black out my eyes so I look like this sort of Afro-Caribbean voodoo icon. And then I would sew in bits of Egyptian artifacts that were thousands of years old into my costume and gather some onyx or tourmaline or something that was meant to have vibrations. And who knows if it works or doesn't, but for me it was an idea of like trying to stimulate my mind or trick my mind into believing I was this character from another dimension. And I would walk on the set and then wouldn't speak to anybody, wouldn't say a word, so I projected this aura of horror, which created fear in my fellow actors, which then inspired me to believe I really was this character.
Exciting. I'd love to be on set with you.
Yeah.
When people ask me, who is my role model in this business, I say you, Jack. I think why you're my role model has to do with the way you relate to vanity, or the lack of it. I mean, I have to tell you, I just adore the fact that you don't care how you look. I adore how you commit to the part. You don't care about your little bald spots. You don't care about your stomach. Remember that wonderful stomach. You don't care about your wrinkles. This is all extremely important to me. Doing a love scene with Jack Nicholson is absolute middle-aged bliss. I mean, to lie in bed and rehearse a love scene, it's so funny, it's so spontaneous, it's so open. We're lying in bed and we're rehearsing the astronaut Garrett Breed love scene. He's explaining to Aurora what it was like to walk on the moon. She's loving it. And then we launched into the first take, and two voices came out of you. Do you remember this? Two voices, and they were simultaneous words, but they were two levels of sound. And I looked over at you. You were amazed. I was amazed, and you said, "Well, sure, Cheryl, I'm many different people." I said, "No, Jack, you're channeling."
At home, because it's a lot when you're dealing with, playing these characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off, otherwise it could drive you mad.
As we listen into Taraji B. Henson's interview on The Color Purple, and she was stating the facts, how she really gets into character, she opens up chakras, pretty much she's channeling the spirit. So in essence, when she was prepping herself to play Suge Avery in The Color Purple, she opened herself up to the spirit to inhabit her, or the spirits to inhabit her, to really channel that character. In Jade McCutcheon's paper called The Actor as Shaman, The Spirit in Actors Training, page 95, she has some very unique things that I think that really line up what Taraji B. Henson was really stressing, how she really preps herself when she is into character. McCutcheon states the following. She says, projecting energy or projections, radiating exercises, the use of chakras, chakra breathing exercises, walk through the chakras, delivering the text through different chakras, the wave and the taking from Gabriel Roth's map to ecstasy, the use of channeling exercises, working shamanically with actors. We've heard Nicolas Cage mention that his nouveau shamanic acting method. Also, McCutcheon states in her writings, creating the forces, shamanic meditational journeys, the use of tarot and animal cards rehearsals. She goes on and says the actors use these exercises to journey into depths of the character, to construct the underlayers of a character through selection of chakras, determining the energy centers of that character are open or closed, channeling the other aspects self through the framework of the character, and to open their central energy to channeling of the forces around. These forces include energies of the audience, which are considerable and are required an alert actor's antenna to pick up and to interpret. Now, we saw in one clip how Shirley MacLaine is mentioning channeling when she played in the movie with Jack Nicholson. And she mentioned how two different voices was coming out of Jack Nicholson. And she says, Jack, you're channeling. You can see in another clip with Taraji P. Henson being in The Color Purple. And she's stating how when she took on the character Shook Avery, how she really opened herself to the spirits. And then she also really break down the different chakras in her body to really manifest the character. I find it very interesting in the writings of Jade McCutcheon's paper, The Actor as Shaman, The Spirit in Actor Training, page 110, states the following. Usually done after the chakra breathing exercises and the way, but not immediately after, the actor channeling sits in the chair with both feet on the ground, not crossed. They put their grounding cord down through their feet and base of the spine into the center of the earth. This is important grounding process and should not be left out of the exercise. The actor observed their breathing coming through the crown, the top of the head, to the root and the base spine. They cause in their character as created by the higher self, as though it's spirit form that they're channeling. The actor surrenders her vessel over completely to this energy and just lets it talk. The following is an example of what I say to an actor who's preparing to channel. The character is taking over your body and speaking through your voice box and using your body. They're very different beings. They will use your body very differently to the way you would use it. They might tire you out usually because they will use a set of muscles you don't normally use, but try not to judge it and to allow the face to fall around whatever it is coming through you.
The character of Felicia, for many, she's just seen as like a crackhead for some. How did you come at that character to try to give her something different than just, the usual stereotypes we might have about people that use drugs?
I wish I still had Felicia's bio. At the time, I was in an intensive actor workshop. I was in actor workshop with Hill Harper, Vanessa Williams was in there, Marcus Johnson, Ricky Harris. The late, great Ricky Harris is one of the greatest actors of our time that we don't give him enough credit. He's part of that group that went from job to job in the 90s. But I wrote a bio on Felicia, and um, it was an amazing process. It was one of the greatest processes that I've ever been allowed to be a part of. So I wrote a very intense bio on her. Some of the things that had happened to her. Um, I mean, her background from everything, where she went to school, her
Hmm.
her everything about her.
Yeah.
I wrote the bio was pretty. I wish I still had that thing. Oh boy. So I put everything down on paper, Then I put it inside. I trusted it, and Angela went away. And this person, Felicia, emerged. And I think that I was really the only one working this way. It's the Meisner. I worked the Meisner technique.
Okay.
And I was really, really this person. And I was really feeling her emotions. I was feeling a lot of fear. A lot of things had happened to Felicia. You know, why would maybe people were tired of her? Maybe why was there so much hate for such an obviously beautiful woman?
And you said that sometimes when you walk off, they walk off with your clothes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Well, as an actor, you're more like a medium.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you really get there, you go into this zone and you really divorce yourself of who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you just become a garment that something else puts on. Now,
Right.
a lot of people sit up there and do impersonations of other folks,
Mm-hmm.
instead of allowing that spirit, but I sit up and I'll pray for a little bit and go in a dark place,
Mm-hmm.
go in the bathroom, turn off the lights, look in the mirror. We'll have the light on at first, and then after 1 minute, turn the light off, and and search until you see your own glow, your own aura, and then you watch it change.
Wow.
And it's a scary thing
Yeah.
because you'll feel like some hands are on you,
Wow.
and you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. But if you stay with it, you'll be inhabited by something, and then you walk out, and the character's
Wow.
with you, and you got to know how to say goodbye to it.
Right.
If you really want to
Yeah,
get there.
right,
Now,
yeah.
a lot of people are afraid, to empty themselves and be filled up with something else. But, as an actor, you're an emotional prostitute.
Wow.
You put on whatever you need for the John. You're turning a trick. You're turning an emotional trick.
Wow.
And it's nothing
Yeah.
more glorious
Yeah.
than that.
Here's a quote from the famous Greek ancient philosopher Plato. The gods don't communicate to mortals directly, but intermarry spirits. So mortals need to figure to communicate with the gods, and thus the daemon or demons become the figures needed of the petition, a source evolving into sacrifices, initiations, incantations, prophecies, divinations, and magic spells, and sacred poems. In the writings of the great Greek philosopher Socrates, in his writings Actors and Actings, here's what he had to say. I like the manner of the Muse. First of all, inspired men herself, because they inspire and possess. They are simply inspired to utter that which the Muse impels them, for not by art or knowledge do they say what you say, but possession. To further build upon what Socrates had to state in his writings, Actors and Acting, the founder of Church of Satan in his book, Church of Satan, page 110, had this to say about the Muse. He says, keep yourself constantly open to demons who will whisper in your ear. An old meaning of demon used to closer to a muse, a guiding inspirational spirit. Now we heard straight out of Terrence Howard's mouth that he looks upon himself being a medium and he allows the spirits to inhabit him. Now we look at scriptures at a medium. When we look at Leviticus 19 and 31, it says, do not turn to mediums or seek out spiritists, for you will be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. When we look at Leviticus 20 and 6, it says, I will set my face against anyone who turns to mediums and spiritists to prostitute themselves by following them. I will cut them off from their people.